Hello, good day everyone and welcome to today's video. I am Raj and in this video we are going to discuss how do you actually prepare for the GRE Verbal Reasoning section. So let's begin. You have decided to study abroad and you are preparing for the graduate record examination or simply the GRE. But when you have seen the 1500 or 2000 high frequency GRE vocabulary words, English words, or when you have seen the highly complex dense reading comprehension passages from some social science journals or business journals or from an 18th century literature, you are finding yourself very demotivated, dispirited or frustrated. The reason because in general we don't read or don't see those words or those passages. But in GRE you will encounter this kind of questions. You are probably thinking that GRE may not be right for you. But that's not true. It's all you need a right approach of preparation. And that's exactly what we are going to discuss in today's video. By the end of this video, you will have a clear 3-point strategies to prepare for the GRE as well as GRE verbal reasoning sections. And these strategies not only help you score well in the GRE, but also enable you to excel well during your master's or PhD program as well as in your professional and personal life. So stay tuned. Before we start discussing the 3-point strategies, let's try to understand the GRE exam itself. The GRE is a 1 hour 58-minute exam and it has 3 sections. Section 1 is analytical writing assessment section, where an essay you have to write against a prompt and instruction, and it's in 30 minutes. Then comes the verbal reasoning section and then the quantitative reasoning section. Now verbal reasoning section, if we specifically focus on to the verbal reasoning sections, here you will have 2 subsections, subsection 1 and subsection 2. Subsection 1 you will be receiving 12 questions and you will have around 18 minutes to solve those. And subsection 2 you will be receiving 15 questions and you will be having around 23 minutes to solve those. Okay. Now both the subsections are subsection adaptive. That means how you are doing, how you are performing on subsection 1, based on that subsection 2 difficulty level will be adjusted. So make sure you put your focus, attention and motivation from starting on subsection 1. Now the question types you will be receiving in GRE verbal reasoning sections are 3 types of question. One is reading comprehension question, second one is text completion question, and third one is sentence equivalence question. In the reading comprehension question types, a passage will be given to you. Mostly the passages will be coming from social sciences, humanities, business, etc. And then based on that, multiple choice questions will be coming and you will have to answer those questions. Now here it differs. The questions are mostly not very straightforward what we encounter in other exams. Here the questions are, the level of the questions test your cognitive abilities. So a level is a bit complex, where it will test your understanding, your ability to grasp the central idea in the passage, the structure, the author's tone, assumption, inferences, then essential, non-essential information, evidence, etc. Then comes the text completion, where a sentence will be given with a 1 or 2 blanks, and then 6 answer choices will be given to you, 6 words will be given to you. Here your vocabulary power would be helpful, and then you have to choose 2 words which will fit in that text completion blanks, and that's how you will be solving the text completion questions. And then comes the sentence equivalence question, whereas again a sentence will be coming, but here you will have only 1 blank and you will be 6 answer choices will be given to you, and you have to choose 2 words which will produce equivalent meaning when inserted. So that was on the surface GRE tests, but GRE under the hood also measures some very important skills. It measures your ability to process complex information quickly, reasoning through ambiguity, and stay calm under time pressure. Now let's discuss the 3-point strategy. Strategy 1 is to prepare for the vocabulary. Strategy 2 is to prepare for the reading. And strategy 3 is to practice and review. Now let's focus on the strategy 1. How do you prepare for the vocabulary? Now let's divide your complete duration of preparation. Say if you are preparing for 6 months, divide it into 3 phases. So phase 1, it's about getting familiarized with the vocabulary words. Okay. Phase 2, that will be around 3 months, is active preparation, and step 3 will be polishing. Okay. So start with passive, familiarizing the words. Step 2, phase 2 will be active preparation. Step 3 is the polishing. Now step 1, phase 1. Phase 1 means month 1, where you will be familiarizing with the words. Just browse the words, see the words again and again, but don't try to memorize them. By the end of this phase 1, you'll be able to recognize the words, but you may not be able to recall the meaning, or may not be able to make sentences using those words, and that's absolutely fine. It's a natural process. It will not let you get burnout, but it will help you enjoy the process. Now once the month 1 is complete, you are familiarized with 1500 or 2000 words in a very enjoyable process and a stress-free process. Move to phase 2, that is month 2, 3 and 4. During this time, you do active preparation. Now you know the words. Now when you put a bit more pressure onto your brain to memorize, trying to memorize those, your brain will not react back. You will not get burnout. So use flashcards, quizzes, games, etc. to prepare those words, and you will be finding after 3 months in a very stress-free process, you will be able to memorize and recollect a lot of words, its meanings, and able to make at least one sentences with those words. Then comes the phase 3, that is month 5 and 6. During this time, you have to reach to the pro level. You have to achieve the very high quality level. How do you achieve that? At this point of time, you try to understand the subtle differences between two words. Then the contextual usage of those words. Try to read passages with those words. Then make sentences, different sentences with those words. And that's how you'll be able to completely master the GRE vocabulary. Then comes the strategy 2, that is about reading. Now remember about reading. Reading is very important. If you can build a very good reading ability skill, this will definitely help you during your master's or PhD program, and not only during master's or PhD program, but also during your professional career going ahead. So you must build a very good reading skill during your GRE preparation time. Now how can you do it? Again here, let's divide your complete duration into 3 phases. Phase 1, phase 2 and phase 3. Phase 1 could be month 1, phase 2 could be month 2, 3, 4, and phase 3 will be 5 and 6. Use first phase 1 should be your building the reading habit. Mostly what happens, we read newspaper, we read storybook, but not on a regular basis. But here on the month 1, your goal should be to forming reading habit every day 1 hour, but read very simpler articles, simpler text, like newspaper, storybook, simple stories, etc. But build the reading habit at least 1 hour of reading of those things. Then what will happen in the phase 2? During the month of 2, 3, 4, do active reading. Like here, increase the time. Maybe you are reading for 1 to 2 hours or 2 to 3 hours, and read again the complete whole newspaper, or probably 2 newspapers a day, or maybe earlier during the phase 1 probably you are reading 1 storybook a week. Try to read 2 storybooks a week, and then gradually try moving towards the complex journals, complex articles, like the complex literature works, etc. And then during the phase 3, that is month 5 and 6, that's where your time will come to move to pro level by increasing the time as well as the complexity. try to read at least for 3 to 4 hours, and occasionally, probably on weekends, 5 to 6 hours. Remember, this would help you during your PhD or master's graduate study time, because there you will be needing, this will build the endurance and stamina of reading for longer hours, the thesis, the papers, the published papers, the different articles, etc. So build the habit during 5th or 6 months for longer hours of reading, as well as processing the complex information, reading the complex article, etc. Now here comes the strategy 3, which is about practice and review. Now this is also needs to be done very strategically. We can divide the practice into a few sections. Okay, like you could have untimed practice, question practice, like you can take 2-3 question or 1 question and you can practice. You can have timed quizzes, and then you will have sectional tests, and then you will have complete mock test, and there comes one more section that is about high frequency practice. Okay, mock test you should take every week from the month 1, from the week 1, every week you should take. That will build the endurance, stamina, the test taking capabilities for complete 2 hours. Okay, and that will help you during the actual exam to remain calm and manage the stress, as well as manage the questions, answer the questions. You will be in a very comfortable and relaxed state. Your brain will develop those skills. And so start every week from month 1, from week 1, to take at least 1 mock test. Start with the 1 mock test, and gradually towards 5th or 6th months try to take 2 mock tests at least. Then there comes the untimed practice test. Take those practice questions whenever possible, because when you challenge your brain, then actual learning happens. And then comes the timed quiz, and when it's timed quiz, your brain learns the skill how to manage time, and it puts different kind of stress onto your brain, and you learn from different angle, and which is very important. Also, you should do sectional test to master different areas gradually, and as well as you should do high frequency practice test. What is high frequency practice test? It is like sit for 1 hour and solve 10 RC passages, sit for 2 hours and solve 100 text completion questions, probably sit for 2 hours and solve 120 to 130 sentence equivalence questions. This will build the endurance, stamina, as well as confidence in you to answer them very confidently and correctly. Now, along with practice, it is also important to review them. Review is so important that many students skip those, and they don't see improvement in their score or in their performance. So review is very important. Spend a lot of time in review. Initially, say you have taken a mock test, next 2 days completely give it for review. Review each and every questions. Say you have taken a practice test, maybe a 5 question untimed practice test. In that case, give 1 hour completely to understand what mistake you have done, why you have done those mistakes, what's the type of those mistake, like is it a silly mistake or concept gap, or you didn't knew the question type, or you didn't read that particular things. So, or is it a gap in your reading? So try to understand the root cause as well. Along with that, try to find out the approaches, shortcuts, strategies, how you can tackle those. So note all those down. Now, after you have done the review, give a gap of a time, maybe for a mock test. If you have taken a mock test, then 2 days of review. After that, give a gap of 2 or 3 days. Take the mock test again and see if you are making those mistakes again, and that way you will be able to understand that your strength areas, your weaknesses, and you will actually improve. So review is very, very important. Give your full attention, motivation, and focus on the review. So in a nutshell, that was all about the 3-point strategies and how do you prepare and excel well in GRE verbal reasoning section. Remember, for vocabulary, start with passive, casual, lightweight browsing of vocabulary words for month 1. Then month 2, 3, 4, active preparation using flashcard, quizzes, games. And month 5 and 6, it's about your polishing it, understanding the subtle differences, contextual usage of words, etc. for reading, which is very important, and you must build those skills, because during your master's or PhD program as well as during your professional career you will be required to read a lot. You can develop those by starting for month 1, forming the reading habit by casually reading the comparatively relaxed article, like easy newspapers, stories, etc. For month 2, 3, 4, it's about increasing the habit and solidifying the habit, and also moving towards the complexer passages. And then month 5 and 6, it's to move towards pro level by occasionally reading 5 to 6 hours at a stretch, and in regular 3 to 4 hours at a stretch of highly complex articles from different journals and published papers, etc. And for the third point is practice and review, which is very important. Do untimed practice test. Start with untimed practice test, then take timed quiz test, mock test every week from week 1, and then your sectional test. Sectional test you can delay, maybe first 2 months may not be required a lot, and then high frequency test, which would build the stamina in you. And also review is very important. Review in detail, in depth. Keep 2 days for mock test review and ample time for other test reviewing, and then again take those tests to improve your performance and score. So that's all in this video. We'll see you in next video. If you have liked this video, give thumbs up and subscribe to us. Until then, keep preparing, keep questioning, and remember, success in GRE isn't determined by how hard you study. It's determined by how strategically and intelligently you prepare. In rnacademy.in, we prepare our students strategically and intelligently with the help of AI. That's all in this video. See you in next video. Thank you.